Reading voters yesterday said no to Measure A. We'll show you what that means now for city services.
Plus, why you'll likely see crews continue to work into the nighttime hours in Paradise. We have a live report.
And more than one ambulance was called to Marsh Junior High in Chico today for students who ingested drugs.
Covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now. Coverage you can count on.
Some major road projects are underway in Paradise, but to stay on time, the work may extend into evening hours.
Action News Now reporter Bea Barbosa joins us live from Paradise Town Hall. Bea, working at night has its pros and cons. It's noisy, but it could have less of an impact on local businesses.
Yes, Haley, that's why there are rules around when the work can happen and why today the Community Development Director, Susan Hartman, held a meeting to go over two applications for overnight road work. The first was an extension of nighttime construction on Clark Road between Pearson Road and Wagstaff Road, which the town initially approved back in May, but the approval needed to be renewed as of November 1st. Hartman approved that nighttime construction extension through December 31st, though the town's public works director, Mark Maddox, said he doesn't expect significant work to be done at night on the Clark Road project now that the second lift of paving wrapped up at the end of October. But he says it would be good to consider extending the noise variance through the end of the year in case they run into any issues. The second is for the Paradise Irrigation District's water infrastructure project on Upper Clark Road between Forest Service Road and Frankie Lane, as well as on Upper Skyway between Kemen Lane and Towie Lane. Hartman approved that application through September 1st of next year. That work will begin as soon as this week, and the PID infrastructure project will include replacing water mains, service lines, and fire hydrants. Reporting live in Paradise, Bea Barbosa, Action News Now.
Thanks, Bea. That night work for PID infrastructure project, that will run between 7 p.m. and 6 a.m.
One man died after being hit by a big rig while running on the road in North Reading, actually I-5. It happened about 12:30 this morning in the northbound lanes at Highway 299. A CHP sergeant told Action News Now the man was running into oncoming traffic while working to learn the name of the person who was killed. Reading voters rejected Measure A by a near 2-to-1 margin. Measure A would have added a 1 cent to the Reading sales tax. It needed a simple majority to pass, but 64% of voters said no. Action News Now reporter Blake Mayfield has been gathering reaction today and joins us live from Reading. And Blake, even though the measure did not pass, it's not expected to result in a job loss.
Yeah, that's right, Alan. If Measure A would have passed, it would have provided more funds for both the Reading Police and Fire Departments to be able to hire more staff. But since the measure failed, both the Reading Police and Fire Departments will stay put with the amount of staff that they currently have right now. In addition, no cuts to the departments are expected to come within the next year. Vice Mayor Mike Latah told me today that the city's budget is balanced so far for fiscal year 2025 and 26. However, even though police and fire departments will remain staffed at their current levels, some other things like the Civic Auditorium and Reading Sports Park may present tough decisions for the city council. This afternoon, I spoke with Latah about what comes next for both venues.
The Civic Center, we still have a lease with Advanced Reading. So unless they tell us they want out, we just keep pressing forward. And we have some options to negotiate a new lease with them. But first, I think they'll kind of need to tell us what direction they want to go. And I'm not sure if that park can continue being open past 2026. So going into 2027, that's a big reality that that park may have to close. That turf is long overdue to be replaced.
In response to Measure A failing, City Council member Tanessa Audette, who was opposed to raising the sales tax, told me that this was not about politics, but rather priorities. She says after sounding the alarm on Reading's budget issues, the voters stood with her. Councilmember Paul Danuka also chimed in, saying he's committed to supporting essential services while also looking to expand the city's economy and job opportunities. And also with this Measure A failing, it makes it to where Shasta County the Sheriff's Office will not be able to get additional funds for its alternative custody campus that it was hoping to get with the measure passing. Reporting live in Reading, I'm Blake Mayfield, Action News Now.
Thank you, Blake. If Measure A had passed, the Reading Police and Fire Departments combined would have received 25% of the new funds generated by that increase in sales tax. California voters approved Prop 50, the ballot initiative to redraw the congressional districts in California.
It will make 5 U.S. House seats more favorable to Democrats from 2026 to the 2030 midterms. After that, an independent commission will redraw the maps based on census data. Governor Newsom launched the effort after the Texas legislature redrew its maps to favor Republicans at the request of President Trump. Modoc, Shasta, and Siskiyou counties will now be part of District 2. Leaving our District 1 leaning Democrat, and the current District 1 Congressman Doug LaMalfa spoke about the outcome.
I feel like I've had my longtime constituents kidnapped from me on this. It's bitterly disappointing on that. My job hasn't changed. It's just I guess you'd say the incline on the Stairmaster has gotten steeper. So we're gonna keep doing battle on this because we're not gonna walk away from this battle.
Audrey Denny, the Democrat who ran against LaMalfa in 2018 and 2020, announced her candidacy for the 2026 cycle last month, and I spoke to her this afternoon about what the new maps mean locally.
Do you consider it to be gerrymandering the way that it was drawn?
I think the new district that I'm looking at, that I'm running to represent, is tied together by communities of interest. It's tied together by folks who want to have healthy forests so we can protect our communities from wildfire. It's tied together by communities that need access to rural healthcare. It's tied together by 2 college towns. It's tied together by an agriculture industry that is cattle land in the mountains and forestry down to, almonds and olives in the valley, down to over to wine grapes in the new western part of the region. Like, for me, there are so many common themes across the new map of California's 1st congressional district.
California's 1st congressional district is up for election next on November 3rd, 2026. New tonight, groups are already launching efforts to scrap the new maps.
California state Republicans announced this morning that the party has filed a federal lawsuit arguing that the ballot measure, Prop 50, is unconstitutional. They say they hope to secure a temporary restraining order to prevent that from taking effect. And a citizens initiative was filed with the California Attorney General to reinstate the California Citizens Redistricting Commission district in 2028. The Fair, Independent, and Nonpartisan Redistricting, or FAIR, Act will go before voters on November 2026 ballot if it gets at least 875,000 valid signatures.
Now we have video from outside today in Chico when it was wet and windy. This is around noon. Yeah, you can see those trees whipping in the wind.
And Howie joins us now with a look at conditions tonight. It still looks pretty green behind you there, Howie.
Yeah, we're still the heaviest of the rain and the winds. That's in our past, but as you just mentioned, we're still seeing the showers, and we're still seeing 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts. Overall, not super heavy. A few areas north, okay, I had some thunderstorms. You got to really look close. Few lightning strikes here and there, so some small thunderstorms, but overall, the energy is starting to weaken across the area. Here's our future rain totals. Really not much of anything for the valley. You'll see maybe 3/4 of an inch still up there in those higher elevations. Here's our rain for today, last 24 hours. 1.5 inches in Paradise and close to that in Redding. Corning, about an inch in Oroville. Then down to about 3/4 of an inch of rain for Willows. Okay, here's our temperatures, not fluctuating too much, right around 60 in the valley at the moment. Still seeing, though, some winds gusting from 25 to 30 miles per hour up to Redding. We still have that wind advisory. That's up there in the foothills now. It's been lifted for the valley. But more rain and more wind. We'll talk about it coming up in a few minutes from now.
Thanks, Howie.
New tonight, Red Bluff City Council member Cody Strzok is providing more information about his decision to resign. The city manager made the announcement at last night's council meeting, which Strzok did not attend. Now, Strzok told me in part that it was a choice between advancing his career, buying a home, advancing his education, or continuing on for another year with the city, adding that the two can't coexist. He says that he will remain around and heavily engaged in civic projects and improvements, just not in an official capacity. The council was scheduled to discuss disciplinary actions against Strzok for missing several meetings, but his resignation now instead will take effect November 25th.
The principal at Chico's Marsh Junior High School notified parents today that an ambulance was called to campus after students willingly ingested cannabis before school. A representative for the district told Action News Now today that school administration called 911 immediately after students exhibited medical concerns potentially caused by the substance. Well, that substance was later identified as cannabis. The rep also told Action News Now that later they had to call for a second ambulance after more students came forward saying they also felt sick. The district did thank the quick response of school administrators and students and staff and emergency responders and referred families to drug prevention resource information, which we have a link to on our website under the News tab, then News Links.
The Chico City Council approved a new ordinance last night to regulate massage businesses. Action News Now reporter Emilio Del Carpio shows us why.
We do not want to punish those that are doing things right. We do want to go after those that are the bad actors that are trafficking in humans in our community. That's something we do want to address.
The City of Chico's new rules require massage therapists to be certified through the state's Massage Council, a move city leaders say will help identify legitimate businesses and target illegal operations. City Council approved the change Tuesday night. The city says that these new rules serve the purpose of stopping bad actors and combating illegal activity happening in massage establishments in the city. However, certain members of the massage community in Chico feel that this is one step forward and two steps backward, that the people that will be paying the price and facing the punishment will be legit business owners and practitioners.
Legitimate actors, legitimate businesses are perhaps bearing more of the burden. The ordinance is still written in a very sort of, not just didactic, but it assumes that anybody operating a massage business must be a bad actor in some way. It really puts the burden on small business owners, many of whom are women solopreneurs in a second career, who are scraping by.
The ordinance now heads for a second reading in 2 weeks. City leaders say they're open to more feedback as they work to finalize the new rules. In Chico, Emilio Del Carpio, Action News Now.
The ordinance also includes exemptions for longtime practitioners, a permanent one for those with at least 5 years of experience and proof of training, and a 2-year temporary exemption for those enrolling to become state certified. Both will require background checks. Well, we have a winner for our Week 10 Play of the Week. We'll announce that winner in the next few minutes.
Chico State University Farm held Precision Ag Day. We'll tell you about the latest innovations in the agricultural industry.